Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA, and today's real user review, we are going to be taking a look at the Dispatch Unit Tote Bag in Portrait. Now, Dispatch did send me this as a sample for review, but all the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. I did not share this content with Dispatch prior to publication. They will see this when you do. In addition to that, there is an affiliate link in the description box down below if you're considering buying this bag or any other product from Dispatch. Please consider using that link. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but I do earn a small percentage from that sale, and all that money goes back to the channel, help me produce more content so consumers can make informed purchasing decisions. So this is now my second offering from Dispatch. I don't know if it's in the corner of the frame, but my other bag's right over here. I think it's just out of frame, which is the Unit Sling. And I really love that bag. That's kind of like my go-to little camera bag. I keep a camera cube in there. I can pull the camera cube out if I need to use it for anything else. But it's kind of been my go-to little camera bag, and it's been great. Actually, I ended up taking it on vacation and then promptly forgetting that I had my camera with me, but I digress. This is about the Unit Tote Bag. And I will say, I have been a fairly recent convert to the tote. I always hated totes. I thought they looked stupid. I thought they were basically useless unless you were going to the grocery store to put groceries in, to load in your car and carry from your car to your house. And then in hindsight, I realized I was always, whenever I went someplace, when I went to the lake, I was just bringing plastic shopping bags, basically using those as a tote. So recently, I discovered that totes are pretty awesome and incredibly useful. Maybe not for me for like an EDC, but I end up using these things far more than I ever thought I would. So the Unit Tote comes in two different versions: the Portrait, which is the taller, and then the Landscape, which is the longer version. This is the Portrait version. I got it because one of my main intentions, and I use it for this, although I'll get into why I don't have any footage of this. We went on vacation recently, and I wanted to be able to load up all of Hazel's things, her entertainment, if you will, because we took a 10-hour car ride from Pennsylvania to Tennessee. We did split it up. We did about 5-6 hours one day, hit a couple things along the way, some state parks, some national parks, and things of that nature. But I wanted to put all of her coloring, her books to read, her tablet, all the markers, the pencils, the crayons, everything I wanted to put in here and contain. And I used the tote organizer, which was amazing, and then I didn't get any footage of it. So that's the reason I went with the Portrait version, though. I thought it would fit in the car a little bit better because we were driving, so we have all of our luggage, our snacks, our drinks, anything that we were going to collect along the way. So I wanted to take up a taller footprint instead of a wider footprint in the car. And what I did was I completely loaded this up with everything, and I have the organizer in here now. It's actually semi set up. I'm actually going to a friend's house to do some guitar maintenance, if you will, and I started to put all of my little guitar tools in here. I got about a quarter of them in here, but I used the little tote organizer in conjunction with the bag, and I had like her tablet in here, and I had I had everything stacked and set up in here, and there's some internal organization in the bag. And my thinking here, I loaded it up. My wife was taking the first leg of the drive. I'd be in the back seat, so it'd be perfect. I could sit in there. I can kind of get some B-roll of her using the bag, accessing it, getting her stuff out. And we lived maybe 5 minutes from the interstate, and before we got to the interstate, she essentially had everything torn out of this bag, and everything was everywhere. So all of my organization was for naught. But it all went back in the bag, not nearly as organized, but it did work for my intended purpose. It fit everything neatly in the beginning, how I wanted Miss Hazel Fantastic's entertainment kit. So combining the organizer with the tote and the internal organization of the tote, it worked out really, really well. So if you do have a smaller child and you're taking a long drive, a Unit Tote would be a pretty dang good bag to take if you combine it with the organizer, because you can get everything in there. Just if you want to get B-roll of your layout, do it before you give it to the child, because it's just going to get torn apart before you even make it to I-81. Anyway, that was my intended purpose initially when I was requesting, which is why I went with the portrait version again. I want to take up a smaller footprint in the car. So I have now used this a couple of times. We went to a local water park. We went to the lake for 4th of July, and I'm currently packing this up to go this weekend. We're actually going to the lake again, so I'm going to end up using a second tote bag. We were going to swim here, but now we're going to a different lake, so now I need yet another tote bag to pack for the beach, or not the beach, the lake, because we're going to a different lake, and I'm currently organizing. There's the internal organization where I've got a few things in here. I think I got some fretboard gauges, some wire cutters for string ends. I'm gonna have to throw capo, tuner, string winder, that stuff all has to go in here. Check to see if the fretboard's level, strings, a couple of miscellaneous tools in there, screwdrivers, different driver bits, things of that nature. So I have this all organized currently to go to work on guitars. I'm going to take about 3 or 4 guitars, going to go to the lake, we're going to swim, and then we're going to go down to my buddy's house after we leave the lake, and the girls are going to keep playing, and we are going to work on some guitars. But one of my other main purposes is without the organizer, and that is as a lake bag. I can throw just about everything in here, especially if it's just me and Hazel. This is the Ballistic Nylon version. It's a 1680D Ballistic Nylon, and it's 19 liters. So I can fit, I'm going to just do this. It just makes it easier. I don't have to hold it. It gives it structure. I can fit everything in here for me and Hazel, no problem. I can even fit her life jacket in here, even though she can swim. When we go to the lake is deeper, so I still make her wear her life jacket when we're at the lake. So I could still fit her life jacket in here. If she doesn't want to wear her bathing suit fits in here. I can fit 3 towels. I take one for each of us, and then an extra. And then if there's any room, you know, I also keep sunscreen, bug spray, goggles, earplugs. Then usually there's still room left in there, and I'll throw in maybe some snacks or something like that. And then I have a cooler backpack that I'll throw drinks and things in. But I can fit everything inside this bag for her and I to go to the lake. And if I don't put the extra snacks in there, I can easily fit another towel for my wife or my wife's bathing suit. Usually, personally, I'll wear my bathing suit, so I'll either have my bathing suit and have a spare pair of shorts and underwear in the bag for me afterwards, or I'll throw my bathing suit in there. Normally, again, I wear mine, and I'll actually keep my spare clothes inside the bag. So I can fit everything for a day to the lake in this bag, no problem. Now, if I was going to the beach, that might be a different story. I don't know about you, but whenever I go to the beach, we end up taking so much stuff. All those things that you take to the beach, they add up fast. I don't have to bring them to the lake. So I can easily fit and accommodate everything that I need for a day at the lake inside a 19-liter tote bag. And I will say, I've been using 2 tote bags this summer. I'm preferring the unit tote from Dispatch. I like the Ballistic Nylon. I love nylon, Cordura nylon, 1000D Cordura nylon. It's like my favorite material for a backpack. But Ballistic Nylon, it's shinier. This is also DWR coated, so if you have all your towels in there and you get caught in a rainstorm, it'll kind of keep it a little dry. It's not going to be impermeable to weather, but it's going to keep your stuff a little bit dry. But I like Ballistic Nylon because it flexes. Now, Dispatch also makes the tote bag in an Eco Pack version, but personally, I prefer the Ballistic Nylon better because it's flexible. I feel like I could pack it out better. Sure, if it's a little bit stiffer, it has a little bit more rigidness to it, you could pack it easier, but I feel like I can fit more into something that has some natural give to it. And I'm not gonna lie, while I do like tech fabrics, I have plenty. I prefer EcoPack over VX, but I have plenty of like EcoPack and technical fabric bags. I always like a nylon bag. I like Ballistic Nylon, I like Cordura Nylon. One of my first expensive bags that I ever bought, I've mentioned this before, was a Timbuk2 messenger bag, and that was way back when you can order. I don't know, maybe you still can. You can order them from Timbuktu and tell them what color each individual panel you wanted and what color the logo you wanted. And I still have that bag. Usually, before I started using this, that was my guitar bag. So I still have it. It's in a bin with some other messenger bags that I can't really use because it's on my shoulder, but I still have that bag. Ballistic nylon is incredibly durable, and even if it's not DWR coated, I find that it is still very water repellent. So out of the two, the Eco Pack or the Ballistic, I'm going to choose the Ballistic. It's my personal preference. Either is going to be a great choice. I really like this bag. Now, let's talk about price point. I think it comes in at $214 USD. Now that, I think, is incredibly fair for what you're getting from this bag. It's made from a 1680D ballistic nylon that, as I said, is DWR coated. The lining is a 420D nylon pack cloth that is also DWR coated. It comes in at 1 pound 9 ounces, has a 19-liter capacity, features a lifetime guarantee, and is made in the USA. Now the tote insert comes in at $85 USD. It is made from a 410D nylon pack cloth, again, that is DWR coated. It features organization that does include a laptop sleeve and comes in at 1.2 pounds. And again, like the bag, the insert also comes in the portrait and landscape. So if you're getting them and you're not just using it as an add-on option from the page, it's there as an add-on when you're looking at the tote bag, but if you're just adding it to your cart separately, just make sure you're adding the correct version for the bag that you're getting. And I will say I do really like the insert. While I didn't use it for part of my intended use, it came in incredibly handy for both one of my two main intended uses, which was entertainment travel bag, and it's coming in as a very, very useful tool, again, as I'm loading up all of my crap in here to set up all of my guitars. So I can fit all my guitar tools in here, and it gives the bag some structure. So the bag being ballistic nylon, it will flop down if you don't have something in it, so the insert is giving it a bit of structure, but I found it to be incredibly useful. So do I think that the insert is worth what I say, $89? I just said it and I already forgot. I just read it too off the page. $85. So $85 for the insert and $214 for the actual bag. Yeah, I think it's a steal of a deal. The bag is made in the USA. The insert, it's probably not. It does not say on the page that it's made in the USA. If it was, it would say, just like the tote. But it is still a very high quality bag. Again, second bag I've had now from Dispatch, and I've been very, very happy with both of them. They both worked out great. There's tons of actual organization on this. We do have a internal or an external pocket here in the front. One thing that I touched on in my unboxing that I didn't touch on here because I didn't use it, but I really appreciate it. It does have a luggage pass-through loop, so if you use this in conjunction with the roller bag, you could slide it down. Personally, this strap, I don't like them. I don't ever use them on backpacks, and I find that they get in the way. But the thing that I really, really like about this little button here. So if I'm not using it, I snap it. Now it's attached to the bag. It's not getting in the way. It's not going to get hung up on anything. Now to some, that might seem like a very trivial thing to talk about, but it's actually incredibly useful. It's the small details that go into something like this that really make it a quality product and very, very user-friendly. I, again, don't like luggage or trolley loops. I find them to be cumbersome. When on a backpack, sometimes they are sewn pretty tight against the back panel of the bag, and you don't even know they're there. That's fine. Sometimes they're very loose, and they get caught on things. And I hate that. I hate when it gets snagged on something. It doesn't happen often, but it happens often enough that it pisses me off, and I don't like it. So when you put a simple snap on the bag, so it is now no longer an issue. It's there if you like it, if you need it. But for someone like me that's probably never going to utilize that, it's now contained. It's not flopping around. It's not going to get caught on something. And something like a tote bag that I'm wearing and tossing around the car, especially when I was using the entertainment bag, this is more likely to get caught on something because it's not pressed against the back panel of my backpack. It's right in front of the bag. So that little feature is something that I really appreciate from the bag. In addition, you know, we have our grab handles that are also, there's a, I'm guessing it's a piece of foam in there. The webbing that they use is very soft to the hand, and the foam is nice, so it does cover a good portion of the palm of the hand, and it's comfortable to wear, or to hold. Now, I don't carry a ton of weight, mostly when I was using this as her entertainment bag, because there was a lot of paper products in there, the tablet, you know, coloring books, there was books to read, things of that nature, notebooks, she likes to take notes. So there was a lot of paper in here, so that did make it weigh a little bit, so carrying it by the handle was very comfortable then. As a lake bag, it's mostly light stuff, life preservers, towels, bathing suits, some snacks, sunscreen, bug stuff, bug spray, things like that. That doesn't weigh a ton. It was okay regardless for that. Even if it had a weak handle, it would have been all right. But I do appreciate the handle, and it was very useful for when I was carrying a few of the heavier items for the entertainment bag. This version is the one-handed adjustable quick release strap. They do have options though, so check the drop down menu. I don't remember offhand all of the options that they had, but I just wanted something simple and basic for my strap, as I knew that this was going to be a utilitarian bag for me, so I didn't want a bigger, more cumbersome buckle. And it's been working out great. Again, there's some internal organization to the bag combined with the insert. You can really lay this out for so many different purposes. It's not just a tote bag. I could probably EDC this bag and that would be fine. I mean, I like backpacks, but as far as totes go, I really like this tote, and I could probably see myself potentially, maybe, EDCing this to the office in the future. I think that's something I could totally pull off and not feel awkward doing. Because again, in the past, I didn't like totes. I thought they were ugly, I thought they were awkward, and I thought they were useless. Boy, was I wrong. So out of the two totes that I've been using so far this summer, my absolute favorite is the Dispatch unit tote in portrait mode. Yeah, it's been great. I really like it. I like the materials. The build quality is great. Yeah, I was so happy with Dispatch that I was like, hey, pretty please, can I have another sample? I fall in love with tote bags, and your unit sling was amazing. Can I pretty please have a sample? And they were gracious enough to send me another sample, and I'm very grateful for that, because this thing has been very handy and very useful. And you know, it's about to get used again in a day or two. We're about to pop into the weekend and have some more weekend adventures, because it's hot, it's summer, and the lake is a very comfortable place to cool off when it is 90 degrees outside. So that if you're looking at the Dispatch unit tote bag, in either the portrait or landscape version, snag one. It's a great product. I'm very pleased with it. I'm very satisfied with it, and it's still in rotation. It's packed in, half packed anyway, quarter to half packed, and ready to go for this weekend's extravaganza, because it's going to be a big long day. But it's packed, half packed and ready for the next adventure that it will be going on. So with that, if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.